Hello and welcome to this episode of Be Bougie, Be Hippie. It always takes me a second to when I get out of the groove, it's like a kickstart to to get it going again. So I'm sitting here and if you're watching, hi, I'm so glad that you are here in this space with me. And if you're not watching and you're just listening, hello and welcome to this episode. I'm so grateful, so grateful that you're here. But what I mean by I have to kickstart it is I have to harness my thoughts because I love to experience new things. I love to experience new atmospheres. I love watching people nerd out or just enjoy what they really enjoy. And so why I'm saying this right now is Jimmy and I were just in South Florida with some of our best friends. One of my good friends, she's getting married, and they there's two couples down there that we hang out with a lot. And then from meeting them, we've also met some other people, or not meeting them, we've known them for forever. Jimmy grew up with it's his best friend. And so we've met like their crew of people that they hang out with, and we go down to South Florida and Delray, and like we have all of our spots that we go to. I have a gym that I go to that people know us at. And then another thing that we do is we go line dancing. And let me tell you, if there ever were a place where rhinestones and fringe and really loud, gaudy attire is necessary and has its place, it is at line dancing. I'm like, that is why there are studded jeans. It is because of here. And all those crazy cowboy boots that you see online or Amazon, whatever it is, people buy them and they wear them. And let me tell you, in the right atmosphere, it just works. It just works. So I'm sitting there and I had learned some dances. And my friend Kate, she is like, she was bit by the country line dancing bug. And so she loves it. She's super into it. She's teaching me the dances the night before. She's sending me YouTube videos. And I'm like, I'm going to do my best and I'm going to learn these. And it's fun. And then when you get there and you're in the atmosphere, it's just so fun. I don't even know how to explain it. Like everyone is just so happy and they're moving and it looks like it doesn't make sense. But then all of a sudden everyone's doing the same thing with their feet. And then you're like, how do they do that? And then you start getting in there and then you're like, how am I doing that? And this is absolutely a metaphor for manifesting a life you love. And I love how my guides work because that's what I want to talk about today is getting on the metaphorical country line dancing dance floor, getting into the studded rhinestones of your life, wearing the fringe in places that it doesn't make sense until you get to the place in your life and you're like, that makes sense. My main guide, his name is L, and it's more of a sound, but it's EHL. And I've been listening for years to Abraham Hicks. And if you don't know who Abraham Hicks is, you got to go look it up. But Abraham is the guides, the intelligent beings, the source energy, her guides of a woman named Esther Hicks. And so she goes by Abraham Hicks. And so I'm laughing with Elle, who I always talk to, and I hear him say, Eldacell, doesn't that just have a great ring to it? And I was like, oh my gosh, how fun would it be if Eldacell met Abraham Hicks and if Eileen met Esther? So I have just been enthralled in and engulfed and surrounding myself by the beauty of what is possible and the goodness in what is happening right now in my present moment. And so right before we get on, every time right before we get on, before I have a coaching client, before I speak, before I host a sound bath meditation, or before I record a meditation or sit down to write my book or anything that I do, I always invite help. And I always invite, my higher self and all that is good in source energy and everything that I need. So that is what I did right before I sat down to this podcast, like all the rest. And I love that we were just given the analogy of the country line dancing dance floor. So, how are we going to relate that back to your life? This is what you're going to do. You're going to use the example of the fringe, wearing something really big and loud and gaudy or so uniquely just that makes you feel good may not feel so good in the moment and in the circumstances that you currently live in, the vibration that you're in. That does not mean that you need to take your fringe off. That does not mean that you need to change who you are. Instead of, ooh, I'm flawed. There must be something wrong with me because, I'm too fringy. I'm too positive. I'm too easygoing. I'm too excited about the future. I'm too wanting more than what this present moment is giving me. Instead of flying yourself, just realize that you haven't found your country line dancing crew yet. That what you're wearing just doesn't fit in this energy and this attitude. Maybe it's not welcome at the Harley Davidson bike event. But when you get to where you're meant to be, you will fit right in. So that's what our guides want us to really focus on right now is it's not about where you are. It's about where you're going in a sense of emotionally. So if you are too heavy in the what's going on right now in this moment. If you choose to see everything for what is that cannot be something else, then you will stay stuck. Well, there's pointless in learning these line dances because I never know when I'm going to get there. It's pointless in saving this money because I don't know. I mean, I'm never going to be financially free. It's pointless to do this workout because, I've been overweight for so long, so what does it matter? That is the energy that's going to keep you away from ultimately what you want. So, it is a dance. It is a dance between what is happening right now in your current circumstances, but more so the thoughts that you allow and the thoughts that you hold on to and the thoughts that are most powerful and the thoughts that create emotion, energy and motion in your body, and the ability to allow it to not be such a permanent feeling. So I want to share a story. I love flying. I love flying, and I was worried about flying this time just with things that I've heard. And then I sat down and I talked to my guides, and they said, now don't fall into the trap of the media. The media gets to share what they want when they want. You think that all of a sudden, with all the advancements in airline and these new type of airplanes that they have, that now all of a sudden this is when all these crashes are happening, and I heard very clearly they're like, no, it's just that the media gets to share what they want, and right now that serves them for whatever reason to talk about more, to talk about plane crashes and so I trust my guides, and so I was listening to that, and so I scripted it for myself, and I carved away, and I said, you know what, I can't wait to sit on the plane. I'm going to sit in an aisle in a window seat, and the sun is going to come in perfectly, and we're going to fly over the ocean, and I'm going to see things that I've never seen before, and I'm going to feel really, really good, and I'm going to take this time, and I'm going to write some things out, and I'm going to work on my book, and so I planned that it was going to feel really good, and it did, and it felt really good. But because I had planned for it to feel really good, I also found that I had really strong negative thoughts coming up. And I got curious about it, and I was like, oh man, I see this. I see this as an opportunity. I see this where I could just sit and say to myself, well, you really, you've done it now. You're on the plane. Like this could really go bad. This could really not work out right now. And I had to keep pushing those feelings away because I got my signs. I got my signs. I asked my guides all the time. I said, make it really clear. Make it super, super, super clear that I'm supposed to get on this flight. And let me tell you, 11, 11, 111. what haunted me. It stalked me from the moment I woke up to the moment I got on the plane, even to the point where guess what the boarding time was for the plane? It was 1:11 p.m. And I just laugh at myself and I'm like, oh my gosh, if we could just relax, if we could just understand that our desires are not by accident, if we could understand that the way that it looks isn't the way that it's going to end. So we have to not put ourselves so permanently in the circumstances of our current situation, of our current relationship, of our current bank account, of our current health status. Like, there is so much and so many opportunities, possibility, abundance, excitement, joy, relief that is right. And if you can't see me, I'm just like pivoting my head that right over there, if we were to take a second and look over there. But instead, so many of us go, this is just the dumbest thing ever. You know, back to the line dancing, like, oh my God, why would I even wear these ridiculous boots? Why would I even learn these dumb little shuffle dances? Because it doesn't even matter. And then you realize when you get there, this is so cool. I am prepared. I was ready for this. I fit right in. I'm right around the people that I'm meant to be around. This is so much fun. Look at what they know. Look at how they do it. Look at her shiny outfit. Look at what he's wearing. Look at them dancing and working together. Like, it is such a powerful metaphor for where so many of us are today, right now, in our manifesting, in our creating, co-creating what we desire. My guides are bringing this up, so this is funny. So we were there for a total of 5 days, and the weather was absolutely beautiful. And we jumped in the ocean, and then I had like, beach hair, and my curls were popping, and it felt so good, and it looked so good. And so the last day, I was like, I washed my hair, I think once while we were there, maybe twice, but the second to last day, I was like, my curls are just too good. Like, I am not washing these. Like, I have beach curl to perfection. I love this so much. So I hopped in the shower, and again, consciously I put my hair up and I didn't want to get it wet and I didn't wash it. And Jimmy took a shower too, and we were up super early and on our way to the airport. I'm like, what is that smell? What is that smell? And I looked at him like, did you shower? He's like, yes, I showered. I'm like, maybe it's the rental car. Like, what is that smell? I was like, oh, maybe it's in my sweater. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was in the closet at the Airbnb, and maybe I'm just not used to that smell. I was like, what is that smell? So then I ignore it for a little while, and I'm, thinking about the kids and excited. And then we get in line to get onto the airplane, and I'm like, what is that smell? And then we sit down, and then I'm worried. I'm so worried. I'm like, oh my gosh, are other people going to smell this smell? Oh gosh, is it Jimmy? Like, I really don't want people to judge him for the way he smells. Is it, maybe it is my sweater. I don't know. But my plan is when we get home, the both of us are going to shower right away. So we get home, and I'm like, babe, you hop in the shower. Now he's sick and tired of hearing this, and he's so patient. He's like, I don't know what the hell. Like, clearly now you think I stink, so fine. Like, I take all the clothes out and I throw everything in the washer and dryer, and I catch, a glimpse of myself in my workout mirror downstairs. I'm like, damn, your hair looks so good. So he gets in the shower, and then I get in the shower, and I'm like, my curls just look so good. I'm just going to put my hair on top of my head, and I'm going to shower. And so then I go outside, and we're hanging out, and we're hanging with the babies, and everything's good. We get back inside, and I start making dinner, and Jimmy comes over and he hugs me, and I nestle into him, and I was like, oh my God, you still smell. You still smell. And he's like smelling me. He's like, I don't smell anything. He's smelling himself. He's like, I don't smell anything. And then it occurs to me, it's me. I'm the one. I smell. It's my hair. It's my hair. My hair smells. So I'm laughing at myself. So I get into the shower, and all of a sudden, L comes and he talks to me, and he says, now, how often do we do that in our lives with our emotions and what we want to manifest? People are in such a bad mood. Oh my gosh, look at what a bad mood that person is. That bad mood. Ooh, I'm gonna look bad if I'm around that person who has that bad mood. Look at all these people around us. Look at how crotchety and how curmudgeon, and look at how rude and look how pushy that person is. And they didn't even let me go in traffic, and that person, didn't even smile at me, and they didn't do that. And the reality of it is that it's all you. It was all me. It's all us. The vibration that we reside in, that we live in, is the vibration that we experience. And I was laughing out loud to myself while I'm in the shower, ferociously scrubbing my hair, saying goodbye to the Florida beach curls and hello to clean, fresh Rhode Island hair. And so I'm laughing and I'm listening and I'm like, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. We are so good at deflecting how we feel. We are so good at blaming our outside circumstances for why we are experiencing what we're experiencing. So, black and white here, tough love. If you are noticing rude, grouchy, difficult people all around you, it's time to look within and recognize and notice, okay, that is the vibration that is leading the way. And I can tell you this, the vibration that you live in is not the vibration where all of your joy, happiness, abundance, excitement, relaxation, satisfaction, soul quenching experiences, the highest and the best, is also, because if it were, it would be here in your physical manifestations. But it's not. And that's a beautiful thing to know. That is a powerful thing to recognize, that what you are experiencing on your outside world is a direct reflection of what vibration and what emotion is leading the way in your life. If you can practice this, if you can become aware of this in your life, instead of trying to ignore it and shove it away. Instead, do yourself a favor, reset. Go wash your hair. Literally, maybe you need to go take a shower because water is very cleansing of our energy. It's very soothing. But what you can do is you can go and simply do something that feels really good. You can, for me, I love finding the sun wherever I am. I love finding the sun. And if you've been listening to, I have a dialogue between me and source. And when I start to get fearful or when I start to worry or when I feel like things aren't happening fast enough, I pause and I look up from my thoughts and from my low vibrational limiting beliefs and feelings that I'm having in the moment. And I say, look up, look for it, look for it. And now within 5 minutes, I'll see a pink flamingo. And that for me is the resetting, the recalibrating of where I'm living vibrationally. So if you find yourself that you have these really, really, really big, big dreams and desires and hopes for your life, and you don't have any proof that your glittery, fringy, loud, gaudy cowboy boot self fits in to where you are now. Remember that just because it doesn't make sense in the moment doesn't mean that you are not on your way to where you feel so good and so in alignment and so right with your dreams. I think that this is so important because, especially to talk about right now, it's March. A lot of people, who are in the world of self improvement, January was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm going to lose all that weight. I'm going to make all that money. I'm going to start that business. I'm going to get in that relationship. I'm going to heal myself. And then we burn out, or we feel like we don't have the tools, or it's not happening fast enough. And so I want you to take a deep breath right now and let it out. And just know that you're exactly where you are meant to be on your journey to creating. And so maybe what you need to do right now is just do a little less and try not to do, and set all these goals and focus more on how you feel, how you want to feel, acknowledging the experiences that you have. And if they're really good, ride that baby out. And if they're not so good, recognize it and then choose. Choose feelings that feel good and go and do something so that you're not blaming the smell of the vibration on everybody around you. Oh, all right. Well, that was short and sweet. I would love to pull a card for us today. And I also want to tell you about my free manifesting masterclass. It is 35 minutes, and we talk about four key concepts that I know that are very, very important to understand when you are manifesting and creating a life you love. And then I so cannot wait. It comes out this week, maybe even when this podcast episode drops. The link will be below. So go ahead and check below to see if it's there. But it is my mini manifesting course, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours total in time. But I strongly encourage you, there's worksheets that go along with both the free masterclass, the 35-minute free masterclass, and the 2 hour mini course, but that is a go at your own pace. So take your time. You can use the worksheets over and over again. There are journaling prompts that I created years ago that I still use. We talk about psychic abilities, tapping into your intuition, what abilities you may harness or come the easiest for you that you can start to use to create a life you love, and so much more goodness in there. So I'm really, really excited about that. So you can go ahead and check that out. You can also find it on my Instagram, right in the links. I don't think we're allowed to say that anymore, right? Link in bio. There, I said it. The link is in my bio. And it's also at the bottom of this podcast video. Okay. Our card is Princess of Autumn. Studious, responsible, cheerful, and mischievous. Happy news about your career, promotions, or scholarships. Well thought out plans that go perfectly, needing a little push to get going. Go ahead. Go ahead and buy this mini course. It's less than $50. It's something that can help you and propel you and get you in a groove and into alignment mentally, energetically, and physically so you can create a life you love. Manifesting isn't magic. Manifesting isn't magic. It's using the universal laws, and it is doing your part, which is 1%. The universe does 99% of the work. Our job is to get out of our own way and to allow. And how do we do that? By feeling good. So you need a push to get going. That's what this is saying. Let's take one more. Actually, this is on the bottom, and I like this card because it had a rainbow on it. 7 of Summer. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that rises from overanalyzing options. Do I feel good? Am I on the right path? Am I doing this right? Is it me that smells? Am I in the bad mood? Is it somebody else? Am I safe to do this? Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and just choose a positive, feel good, high vibe emotion right now. That is your podcast homework for today. Everywhere you go, I want you to find the good in where you go. Every conversation that you have, every person that you come in contact with, I want you to find the good in them. I want you to find the good in the situation, or find the funny in the situation, or find the positive in the situation, because that is how you are going to attract more good into your life. Okay. Share this episode with a friend. Go ahead and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and make sure you have notifications on for this podcast. Yeah. If you can, leave a positive review. I am manifesting bringing this show up to the top, however it can be. I have visions of touring with this show and speaking to the most amazing, amazing people. And I feel so blessed that I've already been able to do that. I can't wait to share with you some other guests that are coming on. If you haven't listened to the podcast, the past episodes from this season now, season 2 and season 1, because there's so much goodness in there about self-worth and healing and tapping into your intuition and manifesting and relationships. So yes, again, you are loved, you are supported, you are so worth it. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.